Hello chess lovers, Suren here with another fantastic game for you. This game was played between American chess player James Tarjan. At the time of this game in 1969, Tarjan was 17 years old and he earned his Grandmaster title in 1976. And Serbian chess player Ljubomir Ljubojevic. Ljubojevic is on the black side. At the time of this game he was 19 years old and he earned his Grandmaster title 2 years later in 1971. As I've already mentioned, this game was played in 1969 at World Championship under 26. Now let's see what happened on the board. Tarjan started the game with e4 and Ljubojevic responded with Sicilian defense. Knight f3, d6, knight c3, knight c6, and d4. White is choosing the open Sicilian. Knight takes d4, knight f6, bishop c4, bishop d7, bishop b3, e6. Black is going for Scheveningen setup, bishop e3, queen a5, white castles kingside, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, and bishop c6. Black allowing white to capture on f6 and damage his pawn structure on the king side, but this is not dangerous for black. This pawn structure can successfully safeguard black king, and at the same time in some lines black can bring his rook on g file and start putting pressure on white's king side. f4 by Tarjan, as white has already completed his development, is starting an advancement, and f5, black is stopping white pawns. The idea of f5 is that now if he takes f5, then black can first play rook g8, and after rook f2 can first pin the rook and then capture on f5, and actually, this is making white's position uncomfortable. That's why after f5 we have queen h5, an active jump by white queen, queen c5 check, king h1, and f takes e4. Black is offering an exchange of queens, but now comes f5. And in here Ljubojevic castled queenside, which is actually a dubious decision. Instead of castling queenside, bishop g7 could have been better. If bishop takes e6, of course you can't capture on e6 because you will lose your queen, and if bishop takes e6, then after castling kingside bishop b3, the players have equal chances. But in our game after f5 we have castling queenside, which allows white to win this pawn. Queen takes f7, d5, and f takes e6. This is already an inaccuracy which allows black to equalize the game, after which black will gradually start gaining advantage. Instead of playing f takes e6, it was better either to play rook d1 or capture on e6 with the queen. If king b8, then f6. White stands much better, but in our game we have f takes e6. Now comes bishop e7, h3, rook g8, rook d1, and e3. Already there are some dangerous threats. Black wants to open up the bishop's diagonal and put pressure on g2, or even going for a rook sacrifice on g2 straight away is also playable. Not afraid of complications, Tarjan captured on d5, but instead of knight takes d5, actually rook f5 could have been better, and though after rook f8, queen h7 and the exchange of queens on f5, rook f8, black has an advantage, but I have to mention again that this continuation could have prolonged white's resistance. But in our game after e3 we have knight takes d5, after which white's position collapses. Now comes e2. Black pawn is forking both rooks. This reminds me of Kasparyan's famous puzzle, but in return white is capturing on e7, and in return for this beautiful fork, white knight is forking black king and the rook. Look at this beautiful study-like position. And now a question arises, how is black going to respond? Now look, if you play king b8, then after the exchange of rooks on d8, rook e1, white has a winning position. White has an extra piece. That's why after knight takes e7, Ljubojevic played queen takes e7. Look at this beautiful move. Rook takes d8 check, queen takes d8, e7. Well, instead of playing e7, if rook g1, in order to protect the pawn on g2, then black can go for a bishop sacrifice on g2, after which the second black queen is appearing on the board, and then white king can easily get checkmated. Let's go back. After queen takes d8, we see e7 in the game, but now comes the light squared bishop. Bishop takes g2 check. King h2, and now you can pause the video and try to find Ljubomir Ljubojevic's next move. Ready? Actually, the simple promotion to a queen is also winning, but after king h2, Ljubojevic captured on f1 and promoted his pawn to a knight. Look at this beautiful under promotion. King g1 was played, now comes the queen. Queen d4 check, queen f2, bishop d5 discovered check. Black is giving away the knight, but after queen d1 check, white resigned. Now if queen e1, then rook g1 check is coming, and then white king is getting checkmated. That's why after queen d1 check, James Tarjan resigned. This was a very double-edged game full of beautiful sacrifices. First it was white who was organizing an attack, but the attack boomeranged back, and with a beautiful queen sacrifice on e7, black showed no mercy and then went for a funky under promotion on f1 and managed to finish up white king in style. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this game. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in the next video.